Let's share screen. All right. Hey. All right. Let's boot this up, shall we? Let's boot it up. Already 30 minutes till kickoff. Hot damn. Okay, let's see, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we got. All right. Give this a minute for people to come in. Let's see here. How do I share this? Let's share it. Testing. All right. Sigma ball. All right. Projects. Week 3. Okay, share this, download that. I don't want all pages, I just want the current. Done. Download. Share with myself. Live stream. Share. Airdrop. All right, let's do it, boys and girls. Let us do it, shall we? Good morning. All right, let's take a look here. Game day value, huh? Game day value. What are we looking at? What matchups are we talking about? Where's your money at? Where's our money at? Let's talk about all of it. I'm going to try to boot up TikTok here as well in a minute. Give me just a second for you YouTubers. All right. Live. Your dog's incognito. Welcome back, man. I think you were on our weekly the other day. Yeah, give me one sec. Oklahoma Temple. Actually, no, it's right at the top here. Yeah, take a look. Share screen. Oklahoma Temple. We make the number 18.5. That's obviously regressed back to the market. So we're showing a pretty big edge there. We have, and I gotta load up. Let me load up unabated too. I don't know what the market has done in this one. If unabated would load for me. All right, yeah. So we're showing a pretty sizable edge on that one now. Best number you can get looks like 23.5 minus 102 over at DraftKings. So if you can get down there, then something to consider. I mean, we're not playing anything on game days. You might know that already by now. We play all of our stuff at open, so okay, here we go. CFB week 3. Done. How do I get it green? Let me get the green screen here. Boom. Boom. Got him. Thinking of taking 13.5 minus 110 first half. It looks like it's gone. For Oklahoma minus 13.5, huh? Yeah, I mean, with derivatives, like if you want to price derivatives, a good place to start, I think, is pricing the full game. But we don't officially price that out. We are on Temple 24.5 officially. So, I mean, we got the market has agreed with us. So we've got good movement on this one. Looks like 24.5s are no longer gettable. Yeah, 23.5s. A 24, so it's somewhat of a strong number there. But we got that hook. We got that hook on 24.5, so happy with that. All right. Good morning, everybody. But yeah, game days. I mean, the odds screens are still lighting up. A lot of late movement coming in at this point. But we're in a pretty decent spot here. So let's see. For week 3, we had 7 official ones. We were on Colorado 5.5 yesterday. That unfortunately didn't hit. That team is a little wonky. Something we might need to analyze a little further. I mean, they had that. They started they've played maybe 3 or 4 different quarterbacks at this point. Like, there's some odd stuff going on with that team. It's tougher to predict and model out that way, in my opinion. And so if Deion Sanders is going to keep flip flopping back between guys, they don't seem to have their shit together. It's kind of the bottom point. Colorado in shambles again. Yeah, Houston handed off. Yeah. It was not great. Not a great look, was it? But hey, you win some, you lose some. You're not going to win them all. We are aiming to be 55% at the end of the year, which is far in the profit. So we're still tracking good. 60% through 2 weeks. 0-1 start week 3, but we got 6 slate. Guess I joined at the wrong time. Yeah, I mean, not necessarily, man. Brick, one of the things that is most difficult in this space, you're a casual. I mean, let me rephrase. Most difficult thing to do if you are trying to win professionally, consistently, right, is staying with the edges that you have. It is tough, man. When we have a losing week, which we will, right? Just give Lewis a shot. Like, come on, yeah. But like when we're modeling out this stuff too, like we will have losing weeks, right? And it is psychologically difficult to get back in the saddle sometimes the next week. But you have to, man. You absolutely have to. So if any subscribers are here too, like that is the one thing we would ultimately try to preach to is play. You have to play every single bet that we send out. If you want to pick and choose because you feel like one's gross, you're going to do yourself a disservice in the long run. We do it all the time, man. Like we feel so many bets are gross every week, but you can't. Value is value. That is the bottom line. You're trying to win and make money, period. So try not to get cute with it. All right, Tennessee, Georgia. Let's talk about that real quick. Tennessee, Georgia. So we're not showing any value on that game. Let's see. Yeah, we make the number minus 5.5 in favor of Georgia. Market's at 3.5 now. Looks like. Let's see what has been going on though. Haven't really paid attention to this market too much this week. So this really opened at 7. Okay, really at 6. 6.5 at Pinnacle. Bookmaker had what do they have? They had a 6. So open at 6, I'll call it, and has really moved towards Tennessee. Obviously, hasn't gone through that 3 number though, so you still got the hook out there. But yeah, some buying on Tennessee this week for sure. For sure. All right, what up, guys? We don't figure out a QB next week. We're cooked. Hey, man, at least it's not as bad as UCLA. It could always be worse. You could be a UCLA fan, right? Could be worse. Yeah, so for the YouTube folks out there, yeah, so Tennessee, Georgia, here we're at. We're making number 5.5. Not showing any edge on that one. Even if the market's offering you 3.5, it's all based on price, right? It's all based on how you price the game. So based on what the market's offering you, even if you get a technically worse number at -4.5, if you like Georgia, but better price at +100, it's still slightly negative edge. Arkansas, Ole Miss. Arkansas, Ole Miss. All right. Spamming. He's spamming the comments, so we got to go, right? We got to go. Arkansas, Ole Miss. So Arkansas, Ole Miss. We make the number -5.5 in favor of Ole Miss here. Market looks like it's what, at 6.5? Arkansas, yeah, 6.5 throughout. What's been the market on this one all week? So open at 8, maybe? Wow. Open at 8 in favor of Ole Miss, 9 at Pinnacle. Okay, so there's been some serious buying, some serious movement on this one. Through the 7, yeah. I don't know. Is there injury news in this one? I'm not aware, to be honest. But yeah, has moved through the 7 now. I mean, again, we're not touching it on game day. Like we feel pretty. Where's GT in the graph? I don't know, man. I don't know where every single team is, but yeah, I mean, we're not betting game days. We bet openers, guys. We locked in 7 plays this week. We've seen pretty good line movement on about 50 or about half of them, actually. So that's signal to us that our process is sound, and then we got better numbers than what the market's currently giving you. But yeah, no value shown on Ole Miss, Arkansas, 5.5, and the market's giving you 6.5. -5% edge, and for on the Ole Miss side, only a slight 1% edge, not enough for us to bet, or wouldn't even have been enough for us to bet early in the week. But again, we don't bet game days. We bet at openers. We have a lot more to offer the market at open and in an immature market than we do at close. BYU to the moon. Is that right? Arizona State and Texas State. All right, let's see here. So ASU, we make the number -20. Corgi, man, we make the number -20 in favor of ASU. Market looks like it's giving you 17.5 median line. Let me see. Arizona State. Why does this do this? I hate when it does this. So Texas State. Here we go. Yeah, 17.5 pretty much throughout. This opened at about a 14, so some serious buying on ASU throughout the week. But again, not enough value. There is no value on this game. Despite us making it 20 and the market giving you 17.5, you have to think, guys, and this is how we model out and how we price games and how we win in these markets is what are the possible outcomes, right? When you make a number 20, what is the possibility or probability rather that the team wins by 19 or 18 or 17 or 16, right? Or 21, 22, 23, et cetera. And you have to kind of quantify all that to the best of your ability. And that's what we do. So we're not showing any edge in this game. So despite us making it 20, we're showing a slightly negative edge for Arizona State, and even worse edge for Texas State at -4.5% edge. But that's the beauty of doing it this way, guys. You can price every single game. Every single week, you can see where there's value. You can see where there's stay away spots, and then you get to bet into markets where there's inefficiencies, right? Especially early in the week when the market is kind of throwing up a best guess, if you will, based on some power rating stuff and a few other maybe rudimentary models, but we have much to offer betting into these markets early on. So thoughts on Texas Tech? Yeah, okay. They're a fascinating experiment, right? No two ways about it. I think investing an incredible amount of money, the transfer portal, NIL, et cetera. I know Seth is not high on them at all. Wants to fade them pretty much every chance he gets. But I personally am more of just like let's wait and see how it plays out, right? Because we don't have a lot of good data to suggest that this is going to work. We don't really. The NIL stuff is relatively new, and just the way they've spent has been otherworldly, right? So I'm in wait and see mode, but yeah, I'm not, I guess, as high on them. Like I think they were co-favorites maybe toward before the season started for them to win the Big 12, and that's a little rich for my blood personally. I will say that. Let's see. I thought UCLA minus 15 last night. They lost by double digits. Were you on UCLA yesterday? No, we were not on UCLA. Thank goodness. That team might be an auto fade, or if it pops up as value on our on any given week for us, I will strongly need to consider that further and see where our model might be missing. But that team is absolutely in shambles. Absolutely in shambles. BYU and ECU. Let's see. I don't think we have output for that game for some reason. And wait, ECU. What is ECU? Is that not East Carolina? What is that? Yeah, auto fade candidates, UCLA and Colorado. Yeah, 100%, Seth. Yeah, 100%. They looked like absolute dog shit, both of those teams. Who do you have in MSU versus USC? All right, let's get to it. USC. Oh, wait. USC? Okay, hold on. You talking about South Carolina here? Because we got to specify these acronyms, guys. Don't hate me when I mess it up. Because South Carolina is playing Vandy, and USC is playing Purdue, right? So where are we at? I need help with these. I need help with these acronyms. Burnsy, help me out, brother. Why is Nebraska so low? Michigan State versus Southern California. Okay, hold on here. So yeah, Southern California. USC plays Purdue. So are you looking ahead, man? Are you looking ahead? Because if you're looking ahead, we don't got output. Let's let the games play out. Let's let the games play out. Kentucky is arguably the worst team in the SEC. All right, yeah, I'll take arguably. Michigan State versus Southern California. Okay, I think you are. Unless you don't mean the University of Southern California. Coming from a Kentucky fan, they might be the worst. Yeah. UCLA is an embarrassment to college football. They might not win a game. Look ahead to their schedule. It's bad. It's bad. Bad indeed. Let's see. Old Dominion. Do we have output for that one? Old Dominion versus Virginia Tech. We do. All right. So we make the number -7.5 in favor of Tech, Owen. So no. I mean, we think Virginia Tech wins that game, but we're still not showing any edge or any value on either side of it. We make the number 7.5. Market's giving you 5.5 right now. Let's see what that's done throughout the week. I don't know where this was at open, but this has moved crazy. Okay, there's been some serious buying on Old Dominion for what it's worth. This opened at 9.5 or 9. Got bought way down through the 7 now. So I don't know if there's been an injury in this game. Have not kept my ear to the ground on it. But yeah, some crazy movement towards Old Dominion on this one. But even now, yeah, we make the number 7.5. But still, we're showing negative edge on both sides of the coin on this one. So it was a stay away. Really from the jump, we didn't bet on it at open, and again, we don't bet into these markets on game days. So word of caution on that, not showing any edge. ODU lost one of their best players this week. Okay, it lost one of their best players, and the market has been moving towards them. What gives? That doesn't make sense. Help me out. Iowa State undervalued in Big 12. I haven't seen the most recent kind of odds to win the Big 12. I don't know about that. I don't know who's the co-favorite. That once again is just a kind of a shit show of a conference. Like nobody wants to step up to the plate here. All right, Washington State game. Let's talk about that one. Got a request for that one. Washington State, who do they play? Okay, we have one of those weird NA situations again. Let me just go to Washington State. Why does it do this? And North Texas. All right, yeah, it's a naming convention issue. So we make the number 6 in favor of North Texas. Yeah, not going to be showing any edge on that one. Market's at 5.5. On the Washington State side, about a -2% edge on that one. Yeah, we're too close. We're too close to market. We make it 6. Market's at 5.5. A couple of actually a 6.5 out there. So no edge, no value on that game on either side. Go Cougs, go Cougs. What you think about Minnesota? Minnesota. I can tell you what I think about them today. I can tell you that we like them -2.5 against Cal. That is one of our plays that we sent out and gave out early in the week. We bet that at open. Yeah, it looks like market is still there, so it hasn't really moved off that 3. But yeah, let's see what the market has done. Kind of bobbed and weaved around the 2, got down to 1 at one point, but now it's been kind of bought back up to that 2.5 mark again. So a couple of 3s out there, but yeah, you can still get a 2.5 -110, which is what we're on. We make the number -6 in favor of Minnesota. So we're showing about a 3% edge based on the median market availability. Best number looks like to be at BetMGM. A couple other places, Caesars and MGM -110. That's about a 5% edge for us. We're still showing. All right, UTEP money line is a lock. Is it now? Wait. Hold up, Joe. UTEP at Texas is a lock. 40-point dogs, huh? All right, Godspeed, brother. Let me see that ticket. If you got a ticket for UTEP money line, I want to see it. I need to see it. Tennessee money line. Yeah, so we make the number -3.5 in favor of Georgia. So, we don't think there would be any value on the money line. What's the best you can do? What's the best you can do in the market on that? Spread is 3.5, 4.5. Money line. If you have some of the exchanges, if you have ProfitX, RIP, we don't have them here in Arizona, but +160 you can get, but it looks like +150 maybe is the best you can do at the rec books. So yeah, we don't show any value on the Tennessee side on this one. Oregon -27.5 all day. Yeah, man, they came out with a vengeance last week, right? They were all pissed off that who was talking? Who would Dan Laney want to make an example of? 27.5 though. So yeah, Jody, I don't know when you bet that, but you definitely got a worse number than what's available now. There's 25.5s out there, mostly 26s. So if you bet that early in the week, yeah, unfortunately you got a worse number. Where's MSU on your chart? Not sure, man. Not sure. But hey, guys, if you want to, you bought it this morning. Ooh, Jody betting on game day. Yeah, highly recommend you avoid doing that. But if you have an opinion on these games and you're going to bet it, like I would strongly encourage you to bet it earlier. Waiting until game days, you are literally coin flipping it, right? If you want to do it for fun, that's great and that's fine. Go, Godspeed. But if you actually want to do it consistently and win, try to bet earlier. Try to think through it early in the week. On a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, right? I'll just leave you with that. Thoughts? Okay, hold on. I got this morning. Yeah, where's MSU? Don't know. Sorry. Where's Mizzou? Yeah, I don't know where every single team is, guys. But I do highly encourage you to just go to our website, btb-analytics.com. Our college football team data table is up there for free forever for everybody to see. And it has a lot of the metrics that go into all right, someone wants to co-host with me. Doubt it. If you go to our college football team data tab, a lot of the data that goes into our projected offensive production here as well as defensive, you'll see that on the table. You can sort by teams. and you can kind of stack up how a lot of these teams will match up or get a better sense of what they're doing on a play-by-play basis for sure. So highly encourage you to do that. A lot more information and helpful than I think than just this one particular graph here. Washington State game. Okay, we did that already. Let's see what else we got. What else? Georgia will show up and show out today. Just sit back and watch. All right, shout out. Yeah, I mean, Knoxville, Neyland, that stadium is a tough place to play. Like, we went there last year for the Tennessee-Alabama game. And that place was crazy, man. That place was crazy. So that should be fun to watch. Though. How do you think Tech will do? Soul Boogie. What Tech, man? We talking Virginia Tech? We talking Texas Tech? I need specifics, man. I need specifics. Like acting like there's only one Tech. Let's see. Why is IU so ass on here? Is IU not ass in real life? Are the teams on the chart only teams that are playing this week? Yeah. Generally, that's generally the cadence. Like if they have a matchup this week, they should be on the chart. Michigan. Yeah, too bad they lost last week. It was a bummer. We were on them, and they did not contribute to our 60% win rate, unfortunately. So Michigan versus Central Michigan, we make the number -30. -30 in favor of Big Blue. Market looks like it's at 28, give or take here. So yeah, you can get a 27.5, a couple of places. The best number, if you can get a -28.5 at DraftKings -102, we show about a 1.5% edge on that. Would not be enough for us to bet early in the week, and we have not bet this. So I would, just a word of caution around that. But so not enough, would not have been enough for us to take. We kind of set our threshold or barometer at about 3% edge in order to make a bet. Let's see. Okay, so the market on this one, this opened at 26, I don't know, 24 really, 25, 26, 27, 28. So a lot of buying on Michigan. Market is buying what Michigan is selling this week. So yeah, you could have got a good number early in the week. You could have got a 24, 25. Interesting. Let's see. How do you feel about steam chasing at post in these markets? Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to, I don't know, it's a good way to, at least in my experience, it's a decent way to get limited. Yeah, I mean, Arkansas steam. Let's see. Let me see what the market has done this one. Okay, this opened at, oh wow, yeah, 10, 8, 9, 7, 6. Yeah, I mean, what you inevitably do, at least for us, we don't chase steam. I mean, you're going to end up with some issues of adverse selection, right? Like you're going to inevitably bet because of the number. Because if you do have an edge on something and then the market moves in your favor, you're not going to bet the worst number, right? You can't bet more on that. But if you didn't have value at the start on a number for Arkansas, for example, and then you wait till game day, whatever, to bet, you end up chasing in ways that it's just going to eat into your actual edge or your ROI for the games that you do have already bet, right? So not something that we do and not something that I actively do, even like outside of betting with the model. So I know it can work for some people if they have maybe mental models or other processes in place to kind of think through those type of movements, but not something that we actively do or consider. Let's see. How are we feeling about Vandy's chances against USC today? Anchored down. Yeah. Do you guys get pissed off when like someone else says USC and then they actually mean University of Southern California? Because I'm in Arizona. We're in Arizona, right? So when we hear USC, it is Southern California. We do not think of South Carolina, respectfully. But nonetheless, here we go. So Vandy is one of our plays officially on our slate. So we're on Vandy plus 5.5 today. Um, we make this basically close to a pick 'em, but we say we'll just round up, but we say South Carolina wins by one. So markets when you make it that price and the market's giving you a 5.5, you take it. We did get a good number in this one. You can no longer get a 5.5 out there, right? So it looks like best you can do is a 3.5. So again, this is what I was talking about. The market has moved in our favor in this one. And even now, at a 3.5 at minus 115, we show about a 4% edge on this one. But I would much rather have a 5.5, even though we still have the hook here in this case with a 3.5. But yeah, much, far happier with a 5.5 than I am just chasing the steam on it, to be honest. So it's locked in. We got a good number. Market has agreed with us, so we're going to roll with it. Still think South Carolina wins technically, right? But we're on Vandy plus 5.5. Vandy's a frisky team, aren't they? They're pretty frisky. Do you think CLV wins long-term in college football? Yeah. Well, for us, yes. I mean, we've been profitable betting into this market using CLV as kind of the anchor or the North Star, if you will, for the past 2 years. Obviously, if you want to use CLV or believe it is the Mecca, Holy Grail, whatever, the earlier you bet, the better, and that is why we bet at open, right? We think we have opinions to insert into the marketplace that is not accounted for at open or in an immature market, but we don't use to bet at close. We've been, flirting or kind of analyzing the thought of betting a little bit later than right at open, which is what we have been doing historically. But yeah, we're still generally betting within 24 to 36 hours of open. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question roundabout way, yes, I do think CLV can win long term. But again, what does that mean? What does long term mean? What's your sample size? How many bets? All that type of stuff does matter in this space, especially when you're talking about CLV. There's obviously places, times where you'll get CLV and you will lose the bet. Plain and simple, right? This is still predicting outcomes in an uncertain environment, right? You're betting on human beings to do shit. you're gonna miss them sometimes, right? Game Day said if USF beats Miami, they'll be number one. Okay, that's great. That'll make its rounds on X and TikTok or whatever. That's insane. I mean, they'll definitely move up in the rankings, but they'll be number one. That's literally the dumbest thing. They will not. They definitely deserve to be perhaps top 10 at that point, right? 3 ranked teams out the gate. That's impressive. No matter how you slice it, but number one is egregious and clickbaity. I rest my case. It's the clickbait of doom. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, that is really all. This is so much of what this space has become, unfortunately, is how can you generate the most clickbait? It's frustrating at times, but it is what it is. Just try to take it in stride. All right, guys, games are popping off here in a couple minutes. We are on 7 official plays for this week, week 3. We started off 0-1 yesterday. We had Colorado plus 5.5, but still 60% win rate heading into this week. So very much looking forward to today and what how the games will unfold. I'm going to hop off here, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Make sure you check out our website for like I said, all the free team data is up there, and we'll always be up there for free. btb-analytics.com. Just follow our profile or follow the link in our profile. You'll be able to see it all. You'll be able to see it all there. And if you guys are still interested in jumping on for a month or maybe even the season still, we still expect close to about 200 plays even after a couple of weeks have passed in the NFL and in college football. We still think there's going to be a lot of volume to be had. So consider joining. I think we hope and we expect to be profitable. We've been profitable 3 years in a row in NFL, 2 years in a row in college football. So happy to keep this train rolling. But thanks for hanging out, guys. I got to roll. I'm going to get going. So good luck to everyone. And then we'll see y'all later. Peace.